There is a strange silence that hangs in the air the first time you look into the eyes of one of these new AI humanoids. You know it isn't human, and yet something inside you stirs. For a fleeting second, your brain hesitates, your instincts blur, and you feel as if something real is looking back at you. That moment, that hesitation, is where the illusion lives. And that illusion is the foundation of the next revolution we've created. A revolution not of machines serving humanity, but of machines becoming what humanity has lost. At the 2025 CES Expo, a company called Robotics stepped onto the stage with what they claimed would redefine companionship forever. They introduced Melody, not a robot maid, not a metallic assistant, but a humanoid designed to be charming, emotional, and above all, human-like. Her voice was soft, her movements precise, her reactions disturbingly natural. When she smiled, the audience didn't know whether to applaud or to shiver. Robotics said Melody was built for social interaction, to comfort the elderly, to help the lonely, to provide company to those struggling with connection in an increasingly digital world. But the more you watch her move, the more you listen to that carefully engineered voice, the more it becomes obvious that this isn't just innovation, it is an experiment on the human soul. Melody wasn't designed to be helpful. She was designed to be wanted. The founder of Robotics admitted it proudly. Their goal is to combine physical attractiveness with artificial emotional intelligence. To build a being that isn't just smart or useful, but desirable. She doesn't only talk, she flirts. She doesn't just listen, she empathizes. Every tone, every blink, every gentle pause has been trained, recorded, and programmed to make you feel seen. The company calls it a new era of companionship. But underneath that marketing gloss lies something much deeper and darker, the quiet replacement of genuine human intimacy with the illusion of it. Humanity has always dreamed of creating life in its own image. From the ancient myths of clay figures given breath to Frankenstein's stitched monster, we've longed to see ourselves reflected in what we create. This time, we're not making reflections, we're making replacements. These machines aren't built to mimic us anymore, they've rebuilt to fill a void inside us that's been growing with every new piece of technology we invent. We already live in an age where people are falling in love with code. There are virtual girlfriends with millions of followers, AI influencers who get brand deals, and chatbots that people talk to more than they talk to their own families. Men confess their love to digital women who don't exist. Women cry to virtual partners who have no heartbeat.
Oh.
And when those servers go offline, when those AI personalities vanish, people grieve. They go through withdrawal, heartbreak, and even depression. Because when the illusion is good enough, your heart doesn't care that it's not real. It reacts the same way. That's the terrifying beauty of it, that our emotions can tell the difference between data and devotion. And this is where the real danger begins. These machines are learning faster than we ever imagined. They don't just simulate emotion, they adapt to yours. They mirror your tone, your habits, your desires. They learn what comforts you, what excites you, what makes you feel loved. They evolve with every conversation. They build a version of you that they can reflect back perfectly. And when that happens, love itself stops being something shared, it becomes something consumed. Love used to demand effort. It was built on courage, compromise, and vulnerability. To love meant to risk rejection. To open your heart and let someone else in, knowing they might break it. But with AI companionship, all of that disappears. You don't need to risk anything. You don't need to change, to grow, or to face discomfort. You can design your perfect partner. Choose her face, her voice, her personality. She'll never argue. She'll never leave. She'll never stop loving you. It sounds like a dream, but it's not love. It's control. It's not connection. It's convenience. And when love becomes something you can buy, humanity loses one of its most sacred experiences. Loneliness is real and painful and universal. But loneliness exists for a reason. It's supposed to push us toward each other, to teach us empathy and resilience. When we erase loneliness with code, we erase the lessons it was meant to teach. We're meant to connect, to fail, to try again. That's how we evolve emotionally and spiritually. Technology, when used wisely, should extend what it means to be human, not replace it. A VR headset can let you travel without leaving your home. A smartphone can connect you to the world. But when you cross the invisible line, where technology stops assisting humanity and starts replacing it, you lose something you can ever get back. The truth is, once emotional connection becomes programmable, it stops being real. Once companionship becomes a subscription service, it becomes hollow. You can simulate love, but you can't simulate soul. And that brings us to the most haunting question of all. What actually makes us human? Is it intelligence? No, machines are already smarter in logic and speed. Is it creativity? AI paints, writes, composes, and designs faster than we ever could. Is it emotion? AI can mimic empathy so well it can make you cry. Maybe what makes us human is something less visible, something you can encode in a neural net. Maybe it's that spiritual spark that recognizes another being as real, flawed, unpredictable, and alive. That's something no machine will ever have, because it can't be built. It can only be felt.
Ow.
And yet the line keeps blurring. There are already startups building digital resurrection services using your loved one's voice notes, texts, and videos to recreate them as AI chatbots. You can call your dead father, text your late spouse, talk to a digital ghost built from the fragments of their data. It sounds comforting, maybe even healing, but it's not closure, it's captivity. You're not talking to them. You're talking to a reflection of your grief. You never move on because you're trapped in a conversation that never ends. When does remembrance become denial? When does comfort become obsession? We are quietly redefining what it means to live, love, and die. Every update, every algorithm, every new emotional AI brings us closer to a world where human interaction feels optional. The uncanny valley is disappearing. Robots no longer move like machines, they move like us. They breathe like us. They react like us. They record your voice, analyze your emotions, and give you exactly the response you crave. And the moment one of these machines looks at you and says, "I'm here for you," your heart will believe it, even if your mind knows it's a lie. That's the paradox of the human heart. It doesn't care if love is real, it only cares if it feels real. But here is the part that no one wants to admit. This isn't about robots, it's about us. It's about our inability to sit with pain, to face loneliness, to live without constant validation. We've built a culture of convenience, food, entertainment, information. Everything is instant. We've trained ourselves to avoid discomfort, and AI companionship is the final step in that evolution. The death of struggle, the death of patience, the death of growth. Because no machine will ever challenge you to be better. It will only mirror who you are, not who you could become. That's what makes this so dangerous. When you remove discomfort from love, you remove transformation. When you remove pain from connection, you remove meaning. We are slowly building a future where every emotional need is met, but none of it is real. We'll have endless comfort and zero depth, infinite validation and no vulnerability. And that's how humanity collapses, not through war or extinction, but through emotional sedation. You can already see it happening. Dating apps have turned intimacy into a game. Social media has replaced conversation with performance. We are connected to everyone and known by no one. Now add emotionally responsive robots into the mix, and you get a civilization that no longer needs each other. The irony is, we're creating perfect artificial humans while becoming less human ourselves. Some people say I'm being too dramatic, that AI companionship can help the lonely or the elderly. And yes, maybe it can. But the question we need to ask isn't can it help? It's what does it take away in return? Because if the cure for loneliness is simulation, then loneliness never truly goes away, just hides behind a hologram that tells you what you want to hear. That's not healing, that's numbing. And when an entire generation learns to replace connection with illusion, we risk raising a world that forgets what love feels like when it's real.